Hello. Hello. Good morning. This is Musa, Matt Beecham Jr., signing in on Earth. Well, as I had indicated in my previous broadcast, I have published my book that I had been working on. I published it as a ebook, but now I'm trying to expand the book, and I want to really get into detail on my subject. Um, and the thing is, what I plan to do is to make it into a paperback book where I would be able to offer, like a colorful type of uh, examples, to make the story interesting. And then there's a major publishing company that I have been considering submitting the paperback edition of my book. I was working on my book just this morning, and I looked at my chapter 20. I'm getting ready to actually uh, end the book for paperback publication, and right now I'm in chapter 20, and I found that even myself I found it quite interesting how I approached uh, chapter 20. And the things I think that what I would like to do is to read from chapter 20, even though chapter 20 has not been finished. I think it would probably be the most. It probably will be a dynamic part of my of the paperback entitled "Who, Why, and Where Is God?" Chapter 20. I'll read, and it is entitled "Who Was Jesus?" Jesus was the greatest, but so was Muhammad. And there were many others who prophesied for God. But look at the number of human lives which have been lost because of Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, etc. It is the irony of religious belief and what mankind does because of religious belief. Study the profiles of serial killers. How many of them have confessed their crimes, and in their final hour they claim Jesus is their savior? This guy was a pedophile who killed and raped children, but the moment preceding his execution, he declares, "I am going home to Jesus." But this guy has literally killed and raped over 100 boys. Yet he has the fearlessness to proclaim that he is going home to meet Jesus. He may or may not be meeting Jesus, but he will be meeting another reality. It is the other reality which none of us knows about. Yet some fear it while others look forward to it. Does the beautiful butterfly know anything about the worm it used to be? Or the tadpole, which becomes a frog, or the fetus, which becomes the babe. Then the babe dies. And what about the new reality after death? Does it know anything about the previous reality? Still, it matters less whether one knows or not, because becoming has already been ordained, and it moves according to a timeline that is pronounced by the deity who does as he pleases. The interrogative still lingers. Furthermore, who was Jesus? Jesus was a black man who roamed around the Middle East in ancient times. In fact, this black man was a paradox in itself. Jesus was a very poor man, yet the greatest man who has ever walked on this planet. All that he owned were his clothes on his back. Yet there were 12 other men who faithfully followed him as he taught and preached about the existence of God. Owning nothing except the Spirit of God, he centered all his preachings on the subject of loving mankind and creation and fearing the most powerful God. Simply, that is who Jesus was. That is the reason why so many die and kill for him. That is something to think about. Does mankind really fight, destroy, and kill because of religious belief? Perhaps. When it really gets right down to the truth of the matter, it is ego. The mighty lion roams the jungle and it kills as it pleases only because it has the power to do so. And the ferocious black bear kills only because the helpless prey cannot defeat the vicious predator. What are we talking about here? Another interrogative. There must definitely be a reason for the interrogative, because it always seems to come up. This is only indicative of the reason for questioning. Questioning is like a highway or an infinite road, where every time the interrogative is used, another reality or probable reality becomes evident. And of course, with the word, without the word, the question is mere nonsense. So, therefore, in the beginning, the Word was with God, and the Word came with God. And with that non-tangible, that non-entity is everything is where everything began. And life is just semantical foreplay where everything we know or understand. That sentence is not complete, but this is a reading from my most recent published book. What has happened is I was determined. I had decided that excuse me. I decided to submit a portion of this particular title. It's published as an ebook, but I'm developing the ebook into a full pledge, a full novel, which will be a paperback, which will have many illustrations. And later on, I will also this same title I will also make into a hardback. But of course, as I had indicated to you, the book presently, the ebook form presently is already ready to be bought by my reading audience. Now, I was working on the book, and I said, okay, I deal with real issues. If you haven't opened the book, but you have followed me, you know that this particular book is about two snipers, two killers, two soldiers. What happens is these two soldiers, enemies, they both men end up in a cave, and they both died in that cave. The book Why, Who, Where is God is already in ebook form. I will have 3 versions. One will be the ebook form, which you can publish right now. And the one that I'm working on is the paperback. And it would be it would have examples of. It would be more colorful. It would be more colorful, and then there would be a hardback. So I would advise you to please go buy the ebook, but I will have a paperback version of the same book, and then I will have a hardback cover of the same book. So this is Musa Matt Meacham Jr. signing out on Earth.